fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at two new Ultra action figures for Ultraman Trigger. On the left here we have Trigger Dark, which would of course make this Trigger Milk Chocolate. No, I'm just kidding. This is Glitter Trigger Eternity. So these are kind of the two new forms we've seen recently. They showed up pretty close together on the show. He was Trigger Dark for an episode, I think, and then eventually he became Glitter Trigger Eternity, and that's kind of the form he's been going to. But yeah, both the action figures I think look really good. I'm usually pretty happy with the Ultra action figures, and right off the bat I can tell both of these look really nice. I think it's funny because he's got all the extra like spikes on his back that the packaging here is probably about twice as thick. Well, maybe 1.5 times, we'll say, for Dark as opposed to Glitter Trigger Eternity. But yeah, definitely got this crazy golden orange color scheme going on over here. So, not too much going on in the back of the packaging. Just kind of showing off all the points of articulation. So I'll go ahead, get both of these guys out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here they both are out of the packaging. We'll start over here with Trigger Dark. I really like this guy. I think they did a nice job with this. He's got a lot of nice detailing. The head sculpt looks really good. A lot of nice paint applications. You can look down pretty far. You can look up a little bit. Look side to side, no problem. Can't really tilt head side to side, but you can really look down quite a ways, which is nice. He's got a bit of shoulder movement here, which is a little restricted by the molded in pieces to the shoulder pad, but full rotation there. Got a bicep swivel. I would say a little over 90 degrees in the elbow. You have a wrist swivel, as well as a 2 set of finger pieces here. So it's not individual fingers, but it's kind of split into 2s, as you can see. Now, the gauntlet does hang a little bit over the wrist, so that kind of restricts it a little bit, but you can still move it around a bit. Nothing in the waist. You can kick forward. Now, I will say that you can see this piece here on the thigh would normally restrict movement, but they made it a little bit softer plastic, so it has a little bit of a bend to it. So if you want it to kind of kick out to the side, you do have a little bit of movement there, because it's not a real flimsy piece. It's just a little bit less than like rigid plastic, so that it can give a little bit of a bend when it needs to. And I appreciate that. That's nice looking out. Nothing in the thigh. You do have, I would say, a little over 90 degrees there in the knee, and then you have a ball joint in the ankle for his little elf booties. I mean, let's be honest, they're elf booties. Come on now. But they look good. All in all, I think it's a good looking figure. I like this form. I wish it got a little bit more time, but it looks like it may. Spoiler alert. Someone else may transform into this form, so we'll see that pretty soon. Not really too much going on the back, but I do appreciate that like the gold here on the gauntlets did actually make it all the way around, because sometimes they'll cut that off like with vinyl dolls and it doesn't get paint all the way around. But he doesn't have a ton of paint applications as it is, so I can see how they were willing to kind of spring to have that go all the way around. Like, see here, you can see, unfortunately, this kind of darker gray cuts off halfway, which is a shame. It would have been nice if that could have made it all the way around as well. But then you can see here in the torso it does the same. So they don't have paint all the way around, but that's to keep costs down, which makes sense. But they're good figures. I mean, they definitely have nice articulation points. Overall, they look pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with that one. Let's move on to Glitter Trigger Eternity. This guy is very orange, and I feel like I get what they were going for. They wanted to kind of, you know, keep the gold flowing off of him, like give it kind of a ridiculously golden feel, but he just kind of comes off looking like a gold-plated Cheeto. I gotta be honest, the orange is a bit much. Maybe if it was a little bit subtler orange, maybe like a burnt orange, or maybe just a paler orange, but the very bright orange just with the gold is a lot. I do like the blue. The orange and the blue go well together, and overall the design of the figure I think is good. I don't know, that orange is a bit much. I don't hate it, but it's a lot. He's got pretty much the same articulation. He can look down, look up a little bit. Can't really tilt side to side, but can certainly look side to side, no problem. He's got a little bit better shoulder articulation because he doesn't have the bigger shoulder pads. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the elbow articulation. His wrists, again, can move around a little bit, although his gauntlet hangs down a little bit, but not too bad. And then he's got the 2 sets of fingers as well. Again, nothing in the waist, nothing in the thigh, but he can kick forward, out to the side, knee bend. This, I would say, he gets a little bit less. I think it's not quite as much. Kind of stops about there. And then again, ball joint in the ankle. So it's a good looking figure. I mean, the gold is very nice. I just think maybe a little bit subtler orange. Like, but they're trying to give off like a really golden feel, and so I get that, but I don't know. The orange is just a little garish for me, just a smidge. I don't hate it, but it's just a little bit too much with the orange. But I don't know. Maybe over time it'll grow on me. But it's just a lot of orange. I keep thinking back to like Glitter Tiga that he's kind of a reference to, kind of is based on, and that guy was just kind of like translucent, glitter filled plastic. At least his vinyl doll was. And I guess they didn't want to go that route, and I can understand that. I mean, especially for an action figure, it's hard to do translucent plastic, so they just kind of went with this orange. And like I said, it's okay, not terrible, but it's a little weird. In any case, I think they're two good figures. I do really like the figures. The articulations there, the aesthetic and everything. I wish they had paint on the back, but I get it to keep costs down. These are usually somewhere in the area of like $15 a piece, maybe $20, depending on if they have a little bit bigger, like this guy having a little bit more in terms of molded pieces and the back accoutrements and things like that. So he might have been a little bit more. I don't remember exactly how much, but they're good figures. I mean, like I said, I've been a fan of this line since it started. They're not really in scale with anything else because Ultraman is such a larger hero than like Rider or Sentai, so they're not really in scale, but they are just a nice set of figures. You can get all the characters you like, good articulation, good paint applications at a fairly reasonable price. I mean, of course they have figure arts, but if you're looking to get representations with decent articulation for a reasonable price, I think this is the way to go. I am just noticing here that this is gold plastic in the elbows here, so I'm a little wary of that. We'll see how that holds up over time. I guess really down here as well. It's not super gold. It's kind of like I don't know. We'll see over time how that holds up. Hopefully that won't be a problem because it's not ridiculously gold, so maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. In any case, they're good figures. Usually they hold up over time. I haven't had any break on me. I have had some like RKF figures in the past with gold arms and things like Grease, R.I.P. His elbows went a while ago, so I'm getting off topic. In any case, I think these are pretty good figures for the price. They look good, good paint applications, good articulation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.